Nice to see you, my young friend.
Can't catch thieves! Woohoo!
Revelio.
I don't even find her interesting. She's a bore. A dreadful bore.
Revelio. Revelio.
Sharp will be making faces behind his back. It's awful. I've mentioned it from so many house points.
I'm convinced that Bin's called on me in class the other day just to embarrass me. How am I supposed to know what year the Blue Network was invented?
Try working with a wand that's been passed down from 3 unruly sisters.
I almost had a treasure wand. I think rules against beasts in the dormitories should be enforced. Just because it was a puff scheme.
I've been sending owls to my mother, pleading with her to send my favorite nightshirt.
I've seen the boys looking very sheepish lately.
It's astonishing to me that the 5 lads I share a dorm with don't accumulate half the mess my one sister makes at home.
And the boys don't make it any easier. The noise from their dormitory, you'd think they were sleeping next to mandrakes.
Well, one can't argue with that.
I thought it would be hard adjusting to sharing a room, but I rather enjoy the company.
Hello, Samantha. Are you here for Summoner's Court?
I am. I'm actually rather good at it. Used to play all the time with my brother, until... Never mind. Shall we begin?
Yes, I'm ready to play.
Then let's get summoning. Accio! What was I thinking? Accio! Yes! You'll have to do better than that. Accio! How am I to top that? A draw? That simply won't do. A rematch then. Good match. Care to have another go?
But of course.
Accio! Yes! That was sensational! Accio! How am I to top that? Accio! Yes! How am I to top that? That settles it, then. After your poor show against Natty in class, I thought I could beat you. Appears I overestimated myself.
More like you underestimated me. That was your mistake.
Fair enough. But a little sporting spirit wouldn't hurt you. I happen to know who you're up against next, and she's no shy opponent. Best of luck. I'd prefer it if you stopped that.
Just saying. You'd think she was the pioneer of the Wizarding School's potions.
Wingardium
The way
Leviosa.
she carries herself. And she's a first year.
Is it possible to become an aura and not excel in
Revelio.
I think so. Yeah. It's all about demeanor, really, isn't it? Being an aura. Professor Howard was carrying some pearl dust the other day. Obviously, I asked her if it was for a love potion. Her face just contorted. You'd think I'd just beat her a gobsmack.
I'd like to see your parents' faces when they see your marks at the end of term. Perhaps you should work on your polyjuice potion so you can pay them a visit as Sharp and lie yourself silly about how marvelous you are and how you exceeded expectations.
I'd rather Howard be teaching potions than Sharp. I don't like how often he mentions common poisons. It's like he's planning something. What? It's not implausible. Oh, everybody knows you're in remedial potions.
Lumos.
I don't know why Sharp's always referring to standard.
Oh dear. The headmaster shows no compassion. I deserve a location that warrants pride,
Lewis.
not one that reeks of manure.
If you pay attention, Sharp has plenty of useful advice regarding antidotes. I think people are too hard on him myself.
Beatrice Green from Dog.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Excellent work today. Class dismissed. I take it you're ready to learn your new spell.
I completed your assignment, Professor. I'm ready to learn Bombarda now.
Good. Now, this spell comes with a caveat. It should only be used when necessary. The exploding charm, as you might suspect, can hurt people. Use caution when casting it.
I will, Professor.
I will hold you to that promise. Now, you must be precise in your wand movements. We don't want you blowing your hand off. Go ahead. Nice and steady wand movements. Remember, the exploding charm is highly volatile. Now, let us put it into practice, shall we? Go ahead and try it on the pumpkins. Excellent wand work. Cast the spell just like that every time.
Professor, might I have a moment?
Yes. What is it?
I was wondering, what inspired your interest in magical beasts?
Are you considering some sort of profession in the field?
I haven't decided quite yet, but I do find magical beasts fascinating.
You do seem to engage well with the beasts in class. I believe that when choosing a path, particularly of a scholarly nature, one must take into account both one's enthusiasm for a particular subject, as well as how one may best serve the students to whom one is obligated to both inspire and teach.
Of course, Professor. When did your path become clear?
I recall it quite vividly. It was the summer between my 6th and 7th years. I read in the Prophet about a wizard who'd been selling alchemy eggs and disappeared in the mountains near my home. I knew of the alchemy, of course, from my studies, but they are native to lands east of here, such as India. I wondered if it was possible that an alchemy could be so nearby. Hence, I went to find it.
Seems quite a challenge, finding an alchemy in the mountains.
It was. After a few days, he was near a tree hollow.
What did you do with them?
Nothing. Only poachers see the value in ending. I hid. And
That sounds incredible.
indeed. Now, beasts and all that they...
I shall remember that, Professor. Bombarda! Bombarda!
get on with those tasks.
Madam Kogawa, I completed the list of tasks you assigned.
Wonderful. I trust you became more familiar with your broom through the process?
Yes, Professor.
That's good to hear. Keep it up, and perhaps one day you'll have a spot on the Quidditch team. If Black ever permits Quidditch again. Well, with those tasks out of the way, let us get started. Glacius. Pay attention to your wand work. Well done. I'd recommend that you practice your new spell here in my office before taking it out into the world.
Bombarda!
There you go. Catching them quickly.
You can't imagine how Revelio.
Welcome back.
Bombarda! Bombarda! Potato!
Are these repositories like the broken container I found at Rookwood Castle?
They are. I fear we have no time to lose. Have a look at the map. Fortunately, the next trial is fairly nearby.
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress in my time. My portrait hangs in the headmaster's office. In fact, I witnessed Professor Black learn of your arrival. And I'll confess that I wondered about you.
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this headmaster seems wildly unconcerned with anything but himself. You'll need to access the office while he's away.
I understand. Very well. We'll find some way to get in.
Good. I shall meet you in my portrait there. Until then.
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do.
What are you up to now?
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Never forget what that Hufflepuff girl.
Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio.
What do we have here? A demiguise.
I believe you are ready to learn Arresto Momentum, the slowing charm. It allows you to freeze objects or people in midair. Simply complete a few tasks and then come and see me.
Mine now, demiguise.
Revelio. Bombarda. Revelio. 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 Revelio.
Mine now, demiguise. Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Bloodgog and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well, you'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the Ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the Ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Professor, a moment of your time. Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I
did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
You call that a shine on those boots? Do better. Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
What could the headmaster want?
Gareth! Mr. Weasley, what are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor, yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago, muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I am watching you, Mr. Weasley. Mr. Redding, who owns Honeydukes, tells me some of his billywig stings recently went missing. Prime potion ingredient. And I know you fancy yourself a skilled potioneer.
What? But, sir, I haven't been anywhere near Honeydukes.
Bah! That's enough from you. Just know that I have eyes and ears everywhere. On your way, Mr. Weasley.
Well, there's one for my diary.
If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along.
Headmaster, here, what could he want?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes! Mixed with, bubo tuber pus makes a fine, mustache paste. Yes, mustache paste. I find.
Are you feeling all right, sir? You don't seem yourself.
I assure you I am quite healthy, Gaunt. If I need a medical diagnosis, I shall head to St. Mungo's.
Something is...
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all. Move aside.
Professor, a word? Professor Black? Again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they're fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense!
A silly game. I've a good...
I should think you'd have better things to do with your time. Now, where's my elf?
Good day, Professor. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kogawa.
What did we do to deserve him as a headmaster?
I wonder almost daily why I accepted this appointment from the Ministry.
Oh no, it's the headmaster and he's coming this way.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Non-verbal spells. Might work on one that makes me disappear.
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
Well, they're as good as invisible to me, sir. Rotten little extortionist holding my diary hostage.
What was that, Broom?
Nothing, sir.
Speaking of invisible, where's my blasted house elf?
Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
Professionally when I'm older, I'd make a marvelous chaser.
I think I'd have made...
Ah! Ah! Hoo! Ooh! Yeah! Ooh! Ah! Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
Professor, I need to speak to you. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see...
Sir?
Since...
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise?
I realize that. and I'd like to keep it that way.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig. I shall never understand that man.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Wait until Master sees what a wonderful job Scrope is doing.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
And now I'm telling you that you can tell me.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
Of course I remember. It's the Black family reigns.
Is Master giving Scrope a test?
Of course I remember. It's the Black family reigns.
Is Master giving Scrope a test?
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope...
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
The Polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Ahem. Attention, students. I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the noble banners of Gryffindor. I shall be taking... Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle. Revelio. Nakamura. Revelio. The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password.